Meanwhile, at Bar Sinister...
I saw what you did.
Oh my god! Oh, please, a little warning. That little mouth, it's beyond.
All those dead mutant children, thrown away like trash. You're in an awful lot of trouble, Mr. Sinister.
Oh, I am. Have I woken up this morning and suddenly become not the man who made eternal life possible for all Krakoans? Everyone who's been resurrected owes their lives to me. They are my children. I am their father. Last I looked, Daddy gives the spankings. He doesn't bend over and take them. Unless I want it.
How many?
How many spankings? What?
How many mutants have you resurrected? How many of your children are there?
I have to look up the numbers. Why?
When I come to punish you, I want to know how many orphans it'll make.
Didn't love that.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 149 of Comic Book Queer's Legacy. I am your host. My name is Brett. This one's name is Evil Jeff. He's your other host. Hello, Evil Jeff.
Oh, hello.
Can leave.
I love doing Sinister's voice.
I love doing nannies. And I would love doing, it's like, I just have to say this. I think that was my favorite scene in comic books ever. Certainly in comic books in a very long time. Certainly my favorite Dawn of X scene. What gold.
And what are you talking about, Brett, for those not in the know?
We are talking about the last page of Hellions number 4, between Nanny and Mr. Sinister, written by Zeb Wells, art by Steven Segovia.
Love it.
And we'll talk about Hellions later. In fact, we're going to talk about a lot of X-Men books later. We're also going to dive into The Boys later. But first, how about what's happening now?
What are you gonna hit?
Ooh!
Hot Topics.
Well, we have a She-Hulk. We have an MCU She-Hulk.
And can I just say this? I was always like, who should it be? It should be this person. It should be this person.
Who should it be?
And they completely picked someone not on my radar. But when I heard it, I was like,
perfect.
Yeah.
Satisfying. I think the front runner was Allison Brie from Community and Glow, and they
just too skinny.
I thought she was too bitchy.
Too slight.
Sure, but have you watched Glow? Isn't she like...
She's still too slight in that.
Yeah. Tatiana Maslany, however, perfect. Perfect build, perfect face, perfect attitude, perfect amount of talent.
Did you watch Orphan Black?
No, I've seen scenes from Orphan Black, but
First
I
two
haven't.
seasons great. Then it goes completely downhill.
But I'm sure she's great through the whole thing.
Well, she plays like 12 different characters, and all of them are fully 100% distinctive from each other. Like,
well, she's going to play 2 that need to be also.
Jessica Walters and She-Hulk?
Yeah. No. Cousin Larry and Balky from Perfect Strangers.
I want her to do that. I want her to be that. Wait, what's the theme song?
She-Hulk.
What's the theme song to Perfect Strangers?
Rising tall on the wings of my dreams.
Okay. Anyway, that's exciting to me. I'm super excited for it. I think that'll be great.
It's exciting to me because I feel like the MCU Phase 4 is never going to happen because we're going to live in a fucked up, plague-ridden Trump dystopia for the rest of our lives.
I don't want to think about it. R.I.P. Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yeah.
We had Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, and then a huge earthquake happened, which was like even the Earth was rejecting that.
Yeah,
in
seriously.
L.A. So I'm just ready to be swallowed up by the Earth right now.
Swallow us up already.
The only thing getting me through is the X-Men.
Yeah, exactly. And the boys. And it's just nice to hear news about the future MCU. like there's gonna be one. Yeah. I hope there is one.
There will
but
be.
That's great casting. Mark Ruffalo is gonna appear in She-Hulk.
Good, because doesn't he have to
so
give
that's
her the
fun.
blood? He has to give her the blood.
I guess he has to give her the blood. He called her cuz on Twitter. He was like, congratulations, cuz. Mark Ruffalo did to Tatiana. Yeah!
Is Mark Ruffalo married?
Yeah, to me.
Okay, here's something though. And this is one of those things. If you got a call from Chris Evans and Mark Ruffalo, and both of them were like, you can come over one night only, it's only now, or it will never happen again, who would you choose?
Are you serious?
You would choose Chris Evans?
Absolutely.
See,
what?
I feel like I would be a little conflicted. I've loved Mark Ruffalo. I have just had a crush on Mark Ruffalo for a very long time. Even wasn't he like in 13 again?
Yeah.
I had a crush on him since then. So it's just kind of like,
but Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Like,
and now that we know what his dick is like.
What? Yeah. I mean, Mark Ruffalo and, like, if Mark Ruffalo and Laura Linney called me, then I'd pick Mark Ruffalo. In either or for
what about
Sophie's
Mark
choice.
Ruffalo and Edward Norton?
Oh, Mark. Oh no. Well, Edward Norton, like American History X era
with the Nazi. You want to sleep with the Nazi?
No, he just had hot body then.
Brett.
He had he was given body back then.
Yeah, you just have to ignore his body was hot. I just have
with
to
that
ignore
bald head and that swastika.
Tattoo. Jesus Christ.
No, Mark Ruffalo.
Okay. But can we get a little X going on?
Hit it.
I want your X.
Yes, that's right.
Come on. Welcome to I Want Your X. It's our segment about the X-Men books this week.
And we are this week, the theme is Prelude. Prelude.
To a kiss.
To X of Swords.
10 of Swords.
10 of Swords. 10 of Swords. Everyone's got a sword, and you've got a sword, and you've got a sword, and you've got a sword.
Check us out on the show we're going to do with the other podcasts about 10 of Swords. We're going to record our Prelude show, our Alpha issue, our Alpha episode later today, Evil Jeff.
Yes.
And I'm sure they'll drop that episode before we drop this one. So I shouldn't be talking about it.
No, we'll drop it.
Tense.
No, I will edit this and we will have it up.
Yeah, but they don't edit theirs.
Oh, do they just put it up right away?
Yes.
Oh, well, then give me
I don't
a minute.
know.
We can get ours up soon.
Give us a goddamn break.
Look, we do sound effects and shit. I had to put horses galloping last episode.
Thank you. It was great, by the way. Oh my God, so many X-Men books happened. I want to start with one that you didn't read, Evil Jeff.
Okay.
Oh my God, you're so agreeable.
Fine. I'm just mad I look up like what are the new X books that come out, and that I did not see that one. I don't know how I missed it.
So it's called Marvel Snapshots. The series is. There's a series of one-shots about our different Marvel heroes. There's a Captain America one that was fun. There was a Namor one that was fun. This one is about Scott Summers' Cyclops. And I think what makes it of note, it is written by Jay Edidin from, I hope that's how you pronounce his name, from Jay and Miles Explain the X-Men, a podcast not as popular as ours.
Or the opposite.
But Jay is an extreme Cyclops fan. In fact, did I get a Cyclops like piece of merch from their show at FlameCon? I might have. I forget.
What's it about besides Cyclops?
Oh, I got a sticker of his optic blasts spelling out they're not lasers.
Thank you.
Yeah. What is it about? It's about young Scott Summers in the orphanage in Nebraska. Ooh. It's about right after the plane crash and what it's like in the orphanage. It is about Scott Summers seeing the Fantastic Four for the first time when they
Does he
debuted.
have his, does he have to wear the ruby glasses at this point?
He has massive headaches, and then there's a scene where it happens very quickly. He goes, because we know what it is, he's taken to see a specialist. And then when he comes out of the specialist, he has sunglasses on and his headaches have gone away. Specialist my ass, or specialist, I'll say.
He got a happy ending. What? No.
What? I'm sure.
So did you like it? Was it good?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I mean, obviously Jay has a firm grasp on the voice of Scott Summers, and a deep passion for pure heroism. So it felt like a nice, simple, fleshed out story about young Scott. It was very inspirational watching Scott be inspired by the Fantastic Four and then later the other heroes that would be created seemingly all at once.
I will say this. I do find it weird for people where Cyclops is their favorite character because of that he fits that true heroism kind of golden age mold more, which is like so not what the X-Men are about. So it's like, if you love that, why aren't you reading like Superman or something? You know what I mean?
I mean, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Some people might think that Scott is more nuanced than that.
Oh, okay, fine. I see everything black and white.
It's about Scott realizing that. So there's a incident that happens. He goes to see the Fantastic Four and Tony. He goes to see Reed and Tony speak at this place in Omaha, near the orphanage, and trouble ensues. He's trapped under rubble with a bunch of people, Scott is, and he gets them out, not using his optic blasts, using his smarts. And then after that, he goes to the library and checks out just guidebooks, instruction manuals, because he realizes that the best way to help people is to be prepared for any situation. So he reads books. He reads a book called How to Fix Almost Everything. He reads a book on auto repair, on celestial navigation, on emergency medicine. And then the librarian gives him The Art of War. And it's just about him, like, well, not about, but there's scenes of him just absorbing all this information so he could be ready. And this is before he discovers his mutant powers.
Well, there you go.
Very telling of our tactician, Scott Summers. So it's really good. I recommend you read it, because then it cuts to the 90s X-Men with Gambit and Psylocke, and Havoc wearing his X-Factor costume, and it's really cool.
Oh, is it a separate story, or is it part of the same
No,
story?
it just cuts to, like, it does a time jump at the end to Scott around the 90s era.
And then he's having an affair with Psylocke? Because that's what was happening at that point.
She looks
she was just very heavily flirting with him.
Yes, and that was Conan's influence. How did I say that? Art by Tom Riley on this book, by the way.
Nice.
Very good.
I'll check it out. I will check it out. I'm sad I missed it.
Yeah.
But I didn't miss these other X-Men books, 4 of them. All kind of...
They were all great.
Yeah, all leading up to the craziness that ensues. Let's start, rather than doing our favorite to least favorite, let's start with the ones that weren't as prelude-y.
Yeah,
to Ten of Swords. Let's start with Hellions.
Sure.
And it's amazing. It's great. And
God, this book.
It's so brilliant, especially because we thought we would have Madeline Pryor, but we don't. She's dead.
She's dead.
The sad thing is she didn't pass the protocols where, since she's a clone of Jean Grey, you can't have 2 Jean Greys. And so they won't resurrect her.
I got bad news for you, Joseph.
So no Joseph... Well, does it count if they're a different timeline version? Like, what about Nate Grey?
That should count.
But Nate Grey isn't dead. He's just stuck in his own dimension.
His own age. Yeah, he can stay there.
Well, I feel like if he's there, I would just resurrect him.
Why not?
But, yeah, and Havoc is really fucked up over it. He still loves her.
I firmly, at first when Havoc was on the team, I was like, oh, poor Havoc. He doesn't belong with these people.
No, he's the most
And now
fucked
that
up
we're at
out
the
of
end of
all
this
of
arc,
them.
yeah, he's the most fucked up one out of all of them.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done, Zeb.
That one where then he's
Yes.
like laughing and like insanely like the Joker at one point. You're just like, ooh.
Oh, he's broke.
I know. And poor Psylocke is the voice of reason, which she's not.
She's great, by the way. She's great. We love Sorry Fallen Angels. We didn't click. It took Hellions for us to love new Psylocke.
Yeah. With her new little pet, Wild Child is her new pet.
It helps my brain when I know who's in charge. Me too, WC.
Tie me up and whip me.
Nanny gets one of her metal arms ripped off and exposes her human arm underneath. I thought that was of note.
Yeah. And I want to explore
the
more.
Marauders.
I still want to explore more of her and Orphan Maker's powers, relationship.
Powers.
Like, I really want to get, because the acid that poured out of his body, like, what is that about?
Yeah.
And then it looks like the Marauders are going to be resurrected. But Grey Crow is like, I don't want to have anything to do with them. That's he was
incredible.
Like, we're bad together. We'll do bad things if we're all together. I just don't want to be friends with them anymore.
Yeah, he's moved on. Grey Crow has moved on. So they kill the zombie Marauders, but they do say that they will bring them back in Krakoa, which I'm like, oh, geez, where do you draw the line? The Marauders, huh?
Remember when they did that, Morlock genocide? Can you imagine
Remember
being like,
the murder?
Oh, I would love to see just a one shot of Callisto going to the council, being like, you can't bring them back.
Hell yeah.
And then Storm like siding with her, and then them. That would be interesting. I'd like it.
What I mostly remember is the murder. We get some depth to Nanny. I mean, granted, it's in her ball. It's on brand, but she takes one look at the the discarded clones.
Yeah, thrown in the trash.
And she's not thrilled, to say the least, per that scene we did at the top of the show.
And she's ready to get revenge on Mr. Sinister, as you heard in the beginning. I love it. So yeah, Grey Crow assassinates Madeline. She dies in Havoc's arms. Does she do something to him? What do you mean?
There's a panel where her hand lights up as she's caressing his
she
face.
fixes his lips.
Oh, thank you.
So
yes.
He doesn't have,
I was always very bad about
ripped open lips anymore.
Oh, that's great. I was always very bad about what's the difference between these two pictures kind of thing. Like spot the difference. I was always bad at that.
She's like, "Oh, I'm going to leave. Like, you can't have those ripped open lips."
How about her last line?
What was it?
I only wanted them to know that I was a real girl.
I know. Well, and they were like,
"Oh my god!"
Like, well, they didn't. They decided. They concluded that she weren't.
They were like, good thing she died when we concluded that she is indeed not.
I want to know how the
real
voting went
girl.
out with that. I want to know, because Jean Grey has Madeline Pryor's memories still,
which I think was probably Jean's case.
So do you think she was how do you think people voted? Here's an interesting thing.
Oh.
How do you think the council voted?
Okay.
I would say
Storm, Nightcrawler, Storm, Nightcrawler, and Jean, no.
Oh, I would say Nightcrawler, yes.
Maybe.
I think Nightcrawler would be like, no, she had her own soul. So he would say yes.
No, you're right, yeah.
I think Sinister would say yes. And I bet you Apocalypse, I think that villains would say yes.
I think Sinister would say no because he doesn't want her anywhere near.
Oh, yeah. Sinister would say no. But I bet you Apocalypse, Mystique, Exodus, I think they would have said yes. Storm would have said no. Jean would have said no. Professor X would have said no.
Emma would have said no.
Kitty would have said no. Emma would have said no. Sebastian would have said no. So I think it would have probably been like a tough call. I think, and the fucked up thing is Havoc has a point where he's like, that was your fucking wife. You were married to her. And he's like, yeah, whatever. It didn't go your way. And he's like, you had a fucking child with her. Like, is it also Cable? Like, Cable, I guess he has no relationship with her because he never, like, remembered her. But that's his birth mother. I don't know. It's fucked up. Oh, I'm worked up over this.
It is fucked up.
I mean, she didn't help her case
Scott
by being
was
a
like,
crazy murders insane person.
Scott was like, what do I have to do to get the point across that I don't give a fuck about Madeline never
He's
did?
like, hey, I fucking left her and baby Cable
I don't know how to
as soon
make
as I
it
found
any
out
more
my
clear.
real girlfriend was alive. And I was like, fuck
My
you.
real girl.
Oh, the Marauders are coming to murder you? I don't care. I got my real girlfriend back. Fuck him.
You're just a clone.
Explain that away. What's his name? Jay? Mr. Cyclops' lover.
Yeah. You got an answer for that one, Jay?
That's probably like us with
this
Emma.
fucking-
It's probably like us with Emma and the Inhumans. We're like, we don't talk about that time.
Yeah. The sinister shit. He says he's spying on Alex and Scott, and he's like, I keep expecting this shit to get old, and it never do. It's so good.
Oh God, he's in hog heaven in Krakoa.
Oh God,
Because I think
I've
that's
never
the thing
seen. I'm
where
so
it's like,
happy for
I
him.
have no qualms of Sinister betraying anyone because he's literally getting everything he wants.
He's a delight.
Yeah. What else do we have? We have Giant X-Men Storm.
Storm.
Which I didn't think this
I
is
love
how this was
Storm.
going to go.
You mean you didn't think it was going to dive deep into the Phantom X?
No, I didn't think, I mean, spoilers, as we always just give away what happens. I didn't think she was going to be cured of it.
Oh, she sure was.
I thought she was going to be like,
I want to bring some shit
be like
up.
Illyria, where she was going to turn evil or something. Like Illyria from Angel, where like it took
Yeah,
over her body
yes.
and then she was like, oh, Storm's evil now, we need to fight her. But it was the opposite.
Absolutely. She's not evil. She's definitely one, from what I've been able to piece together from the Ten of Swords promos, this is about like 10 mutants have to be the 10 challengers to take on those people from hell.
Mm-hmm.
And Storm is absolutely one of the 10 reps from the X-Men.
Well, she was Omega level before, but now it seems like she's like double Omega or something. I don't know. But it seems like she's like even more confident with her powers now. Like after all of this happened. She's just like,
Yeah.
She's like, girl, I feel good. I'm ready to go. Let's get this going.
I love it. Can we talk about Emma Frost in the beginning? Because she's such an asshole when she goes, when she's like, blah, 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 blah. And Storm's like, Jean's like, will you shut the fuck up? And Storm's like, no, let her run her fucking mouth. She's so good at running her fucking mouth. And Emma's like, thank you. I often feel I am underappreciated. Oh God, I love it so much. And she's interrupted by fucking Monet of all people. The only thing I don't get about this book is like, how the fuck did Monet figure out how to cure Storm?
That was
like, Monet's
that
like,
was a random
I have an
thing.
idea.
We're like, why you?
Why you? And she's like, I know how the world works for some reason. No, you
How?
don't. Meaning Phantom X is the world. Like, let's go there.
This
and
goes back
there's this
to, but you
thing.
know why?
How the fuck did you know?
But you know why? It's a simple reason of why she was chosen. Hickman gave the clue. He asks the artist, what characters do you want to draw in this? And that artist was like, I want to draw Penance. And he's like, all right, I'll
totally.
figure out a way to put her in here.
It's Russell Dodderman. And he also clearly wants to draw Dougie. And I swear to God, like, his Dougie is so cool and adorable that I stopped. I was like, oh, Dougie, I've never seen Dougie look like this.
Yeah.
Love that Warlock is completely out of the bag now, right?
Yeah.
Like, pretty much.
And so it's in the pictures that we've seen coming up of him holding a sword. Is that a Warlock sword?
Oh, absolutely.
So can we just really quick... Well, let's finish up Storm, and then I just want to have a brief discussion of what swords are dangling about before we get into Excalibur.
That's a great thing to do. So we've got Monet and Dougie meet up with this former AIM agent, and then that AIM agent takes them to Phantom X with Storm in tow in order to go into the world and cure Storm. And everyone's like, blah, blah, blah. And Storm's like, Krakow! Let's get inside, bitches.
And they go inside.
I
They go into this weird thing that like separates it out from her. And then they're like, let's go. Phantom X is like, oh, I'm going to stay here with the other version, the other clone of me that's now like millennia years old.
Mm-hmm.
And And then the AIM agent's like, oh, I'm going to stay here too. This place is fun. And then as they leave, Doug turns around. He's like, I know you're alive, bitch. Like the leftover machinery.
To the separated
the
entity.
separated entity from Storm is like, oh, I see you. I know you're alive.
Okay. Dougie is incredible. Like, Cypher is one of the most fascinating things about comic books these days. There's two things I want to say about this, but they're both connected.
Yeah.
Number one, Warlock becoming Cypher's body armor.
Yeah, because remember Douglock? That was dumb.
Totally.
It was awful.
But
this is they're still both separate, but now work together all the time. And that's when they were the best. I love it.
Yeah, it's incredible. But he looks scaringly like the Phalanx from Powers of 10.
Oh.
Which, I mean, it's all technarchy, like, you know, techno-organic. Like, so the tie there's potential. Also related to that, when Cypher looks at the entity that's left behind after being separated from Storm and is like, I hear you. I know you're thinking. That reminds me of kind of like the world mind. Like if you go back to the data page from Powers of 10 where it was like a galaxy versus a dominion versus like the like with the black holes, all that. Like that, these symbols look eerily like a world mind. Yeah, in that whole hierarchy of the techno. So I think all that stuff from Powers of 10, all the Phalanx stuff, all the technarchy stuff, all the like metahuman or the human plus machine people, I think we have barely scratched the surface on that. And I think Douglas Ramsey is key to all of that.
I agree. I 100% agree.
Exciting.
Yes. So there's going to be a Warlock sword. What other swords are in play for this 10 of Swords coming up? We have the Cerebro sword.
Correct.
We have Cable. What's Cable's sword called?
The Light of Galador.
The what of Galador?
The Light.
Oh, the Light of Galador.
Of Galador.
And then we have the Soul Sword from Magic.
Uh-huh.
We have, what's the Excalibur sword called? Excalibur?
Yes, the Sword of Might, right? No, Sword of Mercy.
Yeah. What
Captain Britain's sword?
What other ones are dangling around there too?
So you got Dougie's Warlock sword. You've got Storm has got some kind of lightning sword that she's holding.
But that hasn't been established. Like that hasn't been established or anything.
No, that's not in previous. But she's in a lot of promos.
But which ones
with that
have been
thing.
Hanging? I'm surprised Storm. Maybe I would like to see it if like her Thor hammer that she had became like a sword.
That's not a sword.
That it said if it became a sword.
Oh, like someone reshaped it, like Polaris.
Yeah.
Oh, Rachel. Does Rachel still have that like big Phoenix sword from Rise and Fall of the Shi'ar Empire?
Shi'ar guy have the Phoenix sword? I don't remember her.
Yeah, but I think she wound up with it.
I don't remember if she got it. Yeah, but okay, that might be. That's probably. And so I'm trying to think. Is there any other ones popping around anywhere?
I don't think so. I mean, there's the Twilight Sword, which is on the bad guy side. Like when they started introducing the 4 original Horsemen and Arakko and the demons, like the Twilight Sword is what split Krakoa and Arakko apart.
All right, well, let's talk about Excalibur, because that technically happens before the events of X-Men.
Oh, yeah, directly tied.
Which I, of course, read them out of order, but it's fine.
So did I. So I started with X-Men. As soon as I got to the line, I built the gate out of the bones of I was like, let me put this down and let me read Excalibur.
And then I see like, hello, everybody. I'm like, oh, he's about to kill them all.
Yeah.
So Excalibur, it's all finally coming to that's the thing that's brilliant about Hickman. From issue 1, this is all being planned to lead to 10 of Swords.
Hell yeah.
From issue
even with
1.
The tarots.
Yeah, so it turns out Rogue and Gambit have the gem of, what's her name? What's that? Chandra. And Gambit hates Chandra. And he also hates Apocalypse. So he's like, who do I help? I hate you both.
Isn't it so fun that Gambit hates the Externals, but Gambit's Age of Apocalypse book was Gambit and the Externals.
Interesting. One of my favorite lines in Excalibur is when Chandra, like the being of the ghost of Chandra, is talking through the gem that only he can hear, and then he just goes like, "We shut up," and then Rogue's like, "Are you talking to me? Like, I know you weren't talking to me. Who the hell are you talking to?" And he's just like,
Such a good bit.
Not you.
Such a good bit. So what I love about this book is it straightened out the Externals. Like, we finally know what the fuck they are and what they are. Like, I think all of this was, can we tie this shit together, please? Yeah. And then we found out all this information about them.
And then we killed them off and they can't be resurrected. Except for
love
Celine.
it. Like, here.
And then there was a few left of the real good ones we kept.
We kept the good ones. We kept Gideon, who people know from the beginning of X-Force and New Mutants, when that ended. We're keeping Celine, because she's great. And Richter's like one now. It's so fun.
Is he an extern, or was he just that way because he was around
Well,
lava?
the point is,
like,
they
is
all
he
are
Magma's
now.
powers now?
The point is, yeah, he's just Earth Boy.
Yeah.
The point is that all the mutants are now Externals because they can be resurrected too.
And he basically opens up this creepy gate into the other world where the other island sunk into, right?
Yeah. Yes. And I always thought that world was going to be Limbo. It's not. It's got a different name.
Yeah. So there's Limbo, this place, and Otherworld. But they're all kind of, because he needed to use Otherworld, they're all kind of connected somehow. I guess because Otherworld is the nexus to all the dimensions.
Nexus. Yeah.
Anyway, Excalibur's fun, and that leads into the X-Men book, where basically this is like a full-on history lesson where I was like, this is a lot to absorb. I can't remember all of this. But it looks like hundreds and hundreds of years passed because this happened. Like, I'm trying to think, like, were humans around? When did all of this happen?
What?
When
like
the
Krakoa stuff?
Krakoa Island was split into two.
Yeah, so it must... So, I mean...
Was it like
ancient Egypt?
Well, that's the thing. It seems like it's even before. I mean, I feel like humans were around, and Homo sapiens have been around for the past, 30,000-40,000 years. So this could be like 10,000 years ago or something. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So that's still
totally.
So for all that time, there was this whole other world of mutants on this other land, and they were battling these other bad guys. Who are the bad guys that they're battling?
We don't quite know yet. It's what's his name? Is it Amenth?
Yeah. Were they demons? I was very confused with who these bad guys were.
They're very demonic.
So they were demons, but then there's summoners who can summon the demons.
Yeah.
I was confused of what that meant.
Okay, that's an X-Men. Save it.
Okay, all right. Well, aren't we just talking about that now? Is there something else with Excalibur?
Oh, we are? Okay. No, okay, and X-Men 12.
Okay. Okay, X-Men 12 is basically a continuation of Excalibur. And so they talk once again about the summoners. And this was brought up earlier in a previous X-Men issue of these summoners. Is the guy in white, is he a summoner?
Oh, yeah, and he's a powerful summoner. He's like the one with the 3 strokes.
Yes.
So our guy in white is Apocalypse's grandson. So that means that the original Horsemen are Apocalypse's children, by the by.
Yes.
Because Summoner is the offspring of War.
And then who's the mother? Who's the name of the mother? She was like a main thing in the history story.
Oh, yeah,
What was her name?
I mean, that's got to be who that classified summoner is. I mean, classified swordbreaker
No,
is, right?
I thought it was like the woman who...
Genesis?
Yeah, Genesis. Genesis is the mom of everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm saying that mysterious swordbreaker that everyone's like, that's Storm! It's not.
It's
not
Genesis.
Storm. Oh, no, but she's fighting.
Oh, who knows?
She's fighting that swordbreaker. Oh, this is all very dense.
I will say I was just very confused because if the summoner gets those events, I thought those were the bad guys that were fighting them. So I'm just very... it was just very dense and it's very fascinating and I love it, but I'm fully not following everything. You know what I will say I love is that there's these other mutants and this one woman has the mutant power to win. And I think that is a brilliant power where she has to.
What is her name? Iska?
She has to betray them because she knows the other side is going to win, and she has to win. Like I think
Iska the Unbeaten.
Yeah, I think that's that's an amazing power. And actually, I'm going to be, and it will lead to me talking about one of the shows I want to bring up when we get to something to watch over me for whatever that's
stuff with me. Good. I'm so glad you know the names of our own segments. Listen, Iska.
You know what? You can take your shade, Brett, and put it up your ass. Okay. But what were you saying?
I will. She is one of the Swordbreakers listed as like the people that the X-Men have to fight. So one of the X-Men is going to have to go up against Can't Lose Girl.
Oh, that's not going to be good.
That's not good.
This is going to be fascinating. It's basically because they also set up
probably
that
gonna
kind
be Storm.
of fun thing with the arena where like Cable and Mystique and all of them were battling each other. It's kind of like this perfect thing where like we're setting the even for the resurrection of the depowered mutants, you have to battle.
Resurrections too.
Like we're setting up this world of like arena battling, and I'm kind of like they need to make a video game out of this.
They sure do, and that would be great. The beginning of X-Men 12, where you've got the Summoner and Rockslide playing the game that was alluded to last issue, or that was mentioned last issue. It's a little scary to me because the game allows the Summoner to really see your vulnerability, how to beat you.
Yeah.
So he sees after, and it seems like the game takes a very long time. So it seems like it goes deep in you, which is very scary.
I love it when it goes deep.
And he saw that. It's very. I'm still a little scared every time. That Rockslide is an energy being surrounded by rock, and so now they know. You disrupt the energy, destroy Rockslide. So it's this way of seeing the weaknesses in each of the people. That gets me excited for the story because it makes me feel like we're gonna whoever these 10 challengers are. Ultimately, we're gonna really see inside of them and see what their weaknesses are.
It's going to be fun. I'm excited for it.
It's going to be fun.
10 of Swords.
Storm's weakness is going to be like, I'm too fabulous.
Oh my God. I love it.
I love it. I love it. It goes into religion.
This goes back to last week when, or the one where Kitty Pryde was resurrected. We didn't bring this up. But Storm is always the one like, and how do I know it's you? And Kitty goes, because I almost stopped being friends with you because of a haircut.
Because of a haircut.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. So X-Men 12 ends with like Arakko got split from Krakoa. It got sucked into this Amenth's world, this hell world. And they're at war. The mutants down there and the demons of this world. And so they sent the Summoner, like during this big attack, they sent the Summoner away. They got the Summoner through to go to Krakoa, and then Krakoa merges with his little piece of the island that he's on.
So if we can get, and he wants Apocalypse to save them.
Yeah. Save us, grandfather.
But where is Apocalypse's real allegiance?
Right.
Does he want to bring them together, or is he going to sacrifice one group for the other?
His real family is down there.
But I mean, come on, it's been 10,000 years. Get over it.
You never mentioned them before. Do you even really care about them that much?
I would love one where I want to see all the original Horsemen, since they've all probably been resurrected. I would love to see the original Famine, I would love to see all of them back together.
Ooh, yeah, and Warren.
Yeah, Gambit, Wolverine. I guess Storm was one too.
Not
right?
Gambit.
Gambit won't do it.
No, I don't think Storm was.
Anyway, I think that would be fabulous.
Who hasn't been a Horseman of Apocalypse? I was Pestilence for a time.
I know. That was the time where you weren't wearing any deodorant. It was horrifying. I think we covered it.
Sometimes I get sick of reading things.
Sometimes we need to watch things.
With someone.
Hit it!
Someone who watch
superhero sci-fi stuff with me.
Oh, Brett, I watched something that you didn't watch.
What? Oh, exciting.
So, you know what my obsession is?
Yeah, Thai soap operas?
Yes. So, this is, a Thai sci-fi fantasy TV show. The thing that's interesting is all of the male stars are all BL gay stars. Like, they all starred in their own gay, like, soap opera. But here they are in this thing that's not gay, that's just like this supernatural school show. And so I watched it basically because I love all of the actors in it because I've watched them kiss boys. And now I get to watch them with powers. And it's called The Gifted. You literally just type The Gifted,
What?
The Gifted Thai. It's not related to The Gifted show from about the mutant world. It's not that show.
Oh, so it's good?
Yes. But basically, it's called The Gifted. You can just find it on YouTube, watch the whole thing. There's 2 seasons. I'm almost finished the first season. And it's basically this elite school, and every year it's like split up where there's like the dumb kids to the smart kids, but then there's this little exclusive group called The Gifted. And to get in The Gifted, every year everyone takes a placement test, and only like 4 or 5 people get into The Gifted. And so all these kids are taking the test, and suddenly this piercing sound hits their ears, and it's like, please answer the last extra credit question on the back. And then the one guy, the main character, is like looking around, he sees like no one else hears that except him. And so everyone who can hear this special frequency basically has the potential to have powers. And so they take those people, and basically they have the potential to be superpowers, and basically they unlock their potentials. So after that day, they're entered into the gifted classroom, and all of their powers start emerging. Now, the thing that's cool about this show is this show has 0 special effects budget. So this isn't like the New Mutants movie where it's like, I turn into a werewolf, I have like fire powers. It's all things that don't require special effects.
Ooh, like what?
So like one girl is an empath. She can suddenly read emotions. Another girl's like, telemetry. She can touch things and she can see the history of it.
Oh, cool.
Another guy's a technopath. He can just like, once he gets into a computer, he can stay online with it. And but then other people's powers, they all have a price. So their powers keep like the girl who can, every time she uses her power, her blood pressure starts to spike up. So if she uses it too much, she might die. Another girl, she has like super strength, but when her sweat now causes people to go insane. So she starts fighting, and the people become more and more insane the more she fights them because her pheromones are making them crazy. There's another character where and each episode goes into a different character, and one character, he just stops sleeping. And he's like, my power sucks. And they're like, well, you have the power of time. You basically have you don't have to sleep. There's so much more you can do. And he's like, I hate it.
I hate it. I just want to sleep.
And the main character, he's the only one who was basically in the bottom of the class, in the stupid class. And he's the only one that got into the gifted. So they all treat him like garbage. And his power isn't showing up. So they're just like, you don't belong here. And of course, he ends up being the most powerful one of all. And he has the Purple Man's power.
Oh, God, is he a villain?
No, he's good.
Oh, cool.
But the problem is he doesn't realize that he has these powers until every once in a while, like, people are like, we're going to do this thing. And then he's like, you shouldn't do that. And then they're like, okay. And then you're like, what?
Ooh.
And then finally he starts figuring out he can just tell someone to do something. If he touches someone and tells them to do something, they have to do it. And so just the fact that there's no CGI required, but it's still like super fascinating. And of course, you know, the teachers are all nefarious and you know, have other evil intentions for the students, and they're trying to like figure it out. And all the students are fucking each other and dating each other and enemies and fighting each other. It's really good.
I like stuff like that.
The Gifted. I highly recommend it. The
Gifted Thai.
Yeah, The Gifted. Just type in The Gifted Thai series. It'll show up on YouTube. It's all free.
Well, excellent. Can we talk about a show that we both watch?
Fuck yeah.
Let's talk about The Boys.
The boys. Let's talk about the boys.
Who's your favorite character on The Boys?
You know what? This is I'm conflicted because I should not like a white supremacist.
Oh God, I know she's so good at it though.
But I mean that actress, I love her in You're the Worst, and
Aya Cash.
yeah, she's just so good in that part, and her character is very complex, very fucked up, and very devious. And I kind of love Stormfront. I just, she's like, you can't stop watching her character. You're watching, waiting to see what evil things she's going to do.
Yeah. She
I mean, I
is
still
a few
love
steps ahead of everyone else.
What's the light power star child?
Starlight. I love Starlight.
I love Starlight too. She'd be maybe a second for me.
Yeah, but Stormfront is so good at being so bad. And what, like, for a comedic actress like Aya Cash to play a piece of shit racist
superhero
Nazi villain who has been alive a lot longer than any of us know. It's a risky choice, but it paid off because she's fantastic.
Yeah.
She's scary. This show, the villains are scary, and the villains are the Justice League, essentially. Yeah. Some of them are just idiots. Some of them are true evil.
Yeah.
None of them are redeemable except for Starlight.
Yeah, and she's the only one
they're awful.
But she's betraying them, working with the boys.
And she's betraying them.
But the sad thing is the boys aren't really good.
The boys are essentially, they're revenge based.
Yeah.
Like hate fueled. Yeah, they're
and,
not.
what's the main guy's name?
Butcher?
Butcher is awful.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
So
I mean, he's great. I love him. He's one of the best characters ever.
The last episode, but he finally finds his wife, and he's like, "Let's escape together." And she realizes, like, "Oh, you're gonna make me get rid of my kid, and I'm not gonna do that."
The kid she had with Homelander, the superpower kid.
And he basically is like, "Your kid's a soup freak." Like he fully, and then she's like, "Yeah, bye."
But she saw that. Like he was hiding that.
And she knew it. And
that's what he really thought. She saw right through it.
And it was so depressing because you're just like, wow, he's so fucked up. Like Butcher he has so many demons going on inside of his fucking head. And
he's in such a rock and a hard place situation. And because it's like he hates superheroes, and that's why he's on this rampage to save his wife, but it's hating superheroes that is keeping him from his wife.
Yes, exactly. And then speaking of like so royally fucked up, Homelander, we find out has a shapeshifter. Some dude shapeshifter has to shapeshift as Elizabeth Shue and do freaky sex stuff with him.
The way they did it was so good. I was like, why is Elizabeth Shue alive again? Like I was like, is it?
I knew it was
a
like
psychic
attack? I knew it was
like,
someone.
Was she powered? Yeah, I didn't even put two and two together, and I think we even met that character before, Doppelganger, the shapeshifter. But it was hilarious when Elizabeth Shue shapeshifts back into this like this.
And then he calls him out. He calls him out, and is just like, "Why don't you just fuck yourself?" And he turns into Homelander. And as he's walking towards him, I'm like, they're either going to have sex or he's going to kill him. And he kills him. Yeah, I kind of wanted him to have sex with himself. I figured he would. I mean, who wouldn't want a blowjob from yourself?
Right, especially if you look like that.
Homelander does nothing for me.
No, he does nothing for me either. In fact, my husband and I were watching the Talking Dead show they do Inside the Boys. Yeah. We were like watching all the episodes from this season, and everybody on the show is so hot in person. Even Wee Huey, Jack Quaid, like he's so much cuter in person than he is on the show. And we're like the only one we're not attracted to is Homelander. Yeah. Everyone else we're highly attracted to. Sorry, Homelander, you're very handsome.
So we can get back in there. Do you feel? Amazing. But the weird thing is, it's weird where when someone gets Me Too'd, you're supposed to hate them forever. And the show is making me like his character and feel sorry for his character. And I don't know if I should be or not.
I mean, I guess they're making him relatable.
But can he be a good? Do
or-
you think? Because it's the weird thing is I think he has more potential to be a good guy than was A-Train or any of these other ones.
Yeah. I mean, I think so. He is a horrible, sexist, pig, disgusting, sexual assaulter. They've been careful to, like, it's like you empathize, but you don't sympathize. Like they definitely make it clear that he is filled with such body shame, and body horror over his gills.
That's why he was doing all of this.
That's why he was doing all that stuff. I mean, even what he did to Starlight, like standing a good distance from her with his dick out while stroking it.
Hey,
I mean,
Louis
even
CK.
that is like, thank you. Like even that is coming from a place of not really wanting intimacy, being afraid of being intimate, being afraid of letting someone in, yet wanting to seem powerful, confident, hot, all that. What a piece of shit.
And then poor Maeve.
I understand why. I see why.
And then poor Maeve, she sides with him, but that happens in the next episode. But she gets outed by Homelander and is now forced to live this like insanely over the top lesbian life.
Right. And she says to her girlfriend, Elena, who doesn't want any part of it, she's like, Homelander will kill us if we don't. He's just doing this to torture us. This whole idea of them filming a Zack Snyder type, what do they call it? Justice League movie. What are they? Oh, the Seven. A movie about the Seven where they play themselves and all the branding is Zack Snyder, to the point where they even brought Joss Whedon in to rewrite scenes.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Is incredible, but it's incredible that Homelander is using this movie to call them all out and to manipulate them and humiliate them and put them on the spot. He's doing it to Queen Maeve. He's doing it to A-Train by forcing A-Train to leave the Seven as part of this story. It's real fucked up. The psychology that Homelander is capable of.
But the funny thing is that girlfriend was like, "You're a fucking bitch, Maeve. Why are you such a bitch? And then you won't be out and you won't be this." And now she's like, "Oh, I should have not yelled at her this whole time." She was just trying to protect me from not being murdered. Also, the boys discover that you had brought this up, that Stormfront is Lady Liberty. So was Liberty. So she's
in the 70s.
A super racist superhero just murdering black people. And so she's been around for a long time. So this shows you that this stuff's been going around for a long time. And also, does that mean, is it just her, or many of these? Are all of these superhero people immortal? Like, will they not age? So that's another interesting thing that I'm fascinated to see what's going on. But she kind of changed her name, rebranded,
changed her whole look,
became a QAnon hating
social media meme manipulator.
Yeah, and just like her interaction with A-Train, where she's basically
disgusting.
Like hinting, "I hate you because of your color of your skin," and he feels it, but he knows she's not saying it. But he like is like, "I know what you're doing." Like, oh, it's so evil. And I will say though, the fight between her and Starlight, when they have their kind of showdown in her trailer, ooh, that's some good stuff.
Starlight threatened to expose her, knows about
She's
her
like,
days
"You're
as
Lady Liberty." And then she was like, "Oh, you're just all some types of poison." And I was like, ooh, fuck. I thought she was going to deny it.
Stormfront's worried.
I thought she was going to deny it, but she was just like, nope. And because that's the other thing, is you'd think she'd be against Homelander, but Homelander is basically like an Aryan wet dream.
He's a tool.
So she's like, "No, you're exactly what I want for my awful dystopian society." So she convinces him to get on her side with her awful memes. Oh, those memes.
Awful.
Those memes.
Troll farm.
Were just too close to home. I will just recommend BuzzFeed has a thing out where it's a test you can take of it has three real profiles and 3 fake ones, troll farms, to see if you can guess which ones are which. And it's pretty, and they literally took real ones this was a real profile taken down. Anyway, I highly recommend that you go take this test. It's fascinating. Anyway, I was just saying that because just seeing all those memes that Stormfront was creating for Homelander, it just really hit too close for home for me. It really made me depressed. And then she gets it to the point where then Homelander comes with his tail between his legs to her. She has him under control, and then she starts fucking him. Now she's fucking him. So he's going to be completely under her thumb.
Oh, yeah. She's giving him some milk. She's got him.
Their sex scene was pretty amazing.
It was pretty great. She's like, laser my tits. Laser my tits. We're fucking in the air. I'm slamming you against walls. It's great. The kind of sex I dream about.
Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say one other character I want to talk about is Black Noir, because he was featured pretty heavily in episode 5. Yay.
I was going to bring that up too. Do you know who Black Noir is in the comics?
Yes, I do. And I also saw the actor who plays him on the Talking Dead show Inside the Boys, and I would much rather they just stick with this actor than going the route of the comic.
I have a feeling they're not going to do the route of the comic, especially because I think the Stormfront thing has like kind of put a new spin on it.
Yeah.
The other thing that's interesting is in the comic book, the boys, they take Compound V and become strong and get powers when they fight them. And they don't do that in this.
Yeah, it's a reveal that Mother's Milk has powers, that he is a soup in the book.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to do that here. Maybe. Who knows?
I
love him, by the way.
But he's great. I love, though, that you start to finally see Butcher hates, what's Meg Ryan's kid's name in the show again?
Yeah, Wee Huey.
Huey hates him, but actually loves him. And then his aunt basically was like, oh, you're basically his brother.
You look just like his little brother who died. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. You're his canary. Canary in the cave mine.
Oh my God. I really love a lot of characters on this show. When Black Noir is attacking the boys in the suburbs at Butcher's aunt's house, who turns out to be a huge drug pusher and has a secret basement. That scene was incredible because, again, you felt the palpable fear of Black Noir being outside.
Yeah. And
just starts blowing the house up. Just starts lighting firecrackers to get them out of the basement. So good. But yeah, so the actor who plays him is being featured pretty heavily on this Talking Dead type show. I would think that if they weren't going to have him take the mask off eventually and be that guy, they wouldn't have him on the show.
Is it an actor we've seen before?
No, but he's quite sexy.
Okay. I'll look him up. I need to watch those. Are those on Amazon too?
Yeah, they are. It's hosted by Aisha Tyler, and she's great.
Oh, I think I saw one of those, but it was all talking about season 1 stuff. So there's one for each episode?
Of season 2, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll watch those.
Yeah, and you get to see the act. Like, you get to see Kamiko, like, with makeup on, smiling and laughing.
Speaking. Talking.
Speaking, yeah. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
That's
it's a good
such a good show. I love it.
And it's fun. They do real stupid bits, like the soup type stuff.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's great. But my favorite of all on the show is Frenchie. I love every single fucking second of Frenchie.
He's so sexy.
He's so sexy. When he had sex with that friend of his while looking for Kamiko after he tried to kiss Kamiko.
Yeah.
And they showed his butt. Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Give me a butt. Have you seen, we'll just bring this up, but just very quickly. It's also kind of supernatural. Have you watched Lovecraft Country?
Yeah, I am watching it. I did not see the last episode. The last one I saw was when they the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
They are showing. Oh, you need to watch the one after that because it's gay.
Oh, really?
So we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, I think it's great. I love Lovecraft Country. I love it.
But they show his butt.
Oh, he's
all
so
the
hot.
time.
Oh,
his
that's more casting.
Is insane.
That's more casting.
Something? What?
Yes, he's Kang. He's Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man 3.
yeah!
Yes!
Can they do it where King the Conqueror doesn't wear pants? I'm
I
telling
would love
you,
that. His body is so sick.
And he's always just like wearing these like tank tops.
And these t-shirts.
Oh,
He's so hot.
the only thing I have a problem is
Tick.
that it's Jussie Smollett's sister.
I know.
And she just recently came out defending him. And it was like, just don't talk about it.
Just don't talk about it. She was Black Canary. In Birds of Prey. Yeah, that show is great. He's great. And I just can't believe we forgot to mention that he was cast as Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man 3. Oh my God. Kang is in Ant-Man 3? What?
And the Ant-Man 3 and the Young Avengers.
Better be.
I bet you that's how it'll end.
Iron Lad.
Is Iron Lad. He'll come back and become, the younger version will become Iron Lad.
So hear me out on this one, because this is more casting I want to dive into. So Kang is an ancestor of Nathaniel Richards, Reed Richards. Okay, so Kang is a Richards.
Well, not ancestor,
or descendant.
Descendant.
So if we go Kang, like if we don't cover, what's the actor's name? I forget his name that plays Tick on Lovecraft Country. I'd like to make him an obvious black man, is my point. Because then I'd like to make Reed Richards black. Because I think the perfect casting for Reed and Sue Richards. I saw this on Twitter, and there's no one else I'm going to accept. I want Chidi and Eleanor from The Good Place as Reed and Sue. That's all I have to say.
Chidi and Eleanor.
I want Kristen Bell and him as Reed and Sue.
I would
Bell, is that her name?
Yeah, Bell.
Yeah.
Ding. I'd love it.
Chidi would make such a good Reed Richards. Holy. And but give them Eleanor and Chidi personalities. Just make Eleanor and Chidi Reed and Sue. Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Oh my God, make Invisible Woman the worst.
Make Sue Storm the worst. Make her goofy and just way in over her head. Basically give me Eleanor Shellstrop as Sue Storm.
Yeah. But make her the most powerful, which she is.
Yeah. Chidi is William Jackson Harper. I don't think I ever knew that.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, we started with casting and we ended with casting.
Look at that.
I think we put a nice button on this.
Lovecraft Country, Tick is played by Jonathan Majors. I knew that. I knew Jonathan Majors.
And then please remember, guys, check out Homo Superior this week. We are going to be doing a guest appearance with a bunch of other gay X-Men podcasters. Yeah,
please do. It'll be out before this show.
You're like, yeah, do it or not. If you only want to listen to us, we understand.
We're hardly going to get to say anything.
Oh, speak for yourself. I'm just going to be like, no.
I'm just going to swing drama. I'm going to spill drama.
I'm going to bring an air horn
podcast.
while someone else is talking. No. Because there's going to be
I'm going to clap sarcastically 8 times.
There's going to be 12 people on this thing. It's going to be insane. It's going to
be insane. Join us.
All
right. Well, this is great.
Thank you for joining me, Brett, because you're the only person I have to talk about all of this.
Oh, and same to you. Thank you for joining me. It's a pleasure to join.
Thank you, listeners, for listening to us. Please tweet at us. Please follow us on Instagram. Please rate us, subscribe to us. Anything you can. Talk about us. Tell a friend. Tell your parents. Tell your children.
Tell a teacher.
Tell a tubby. And remember, if you read comics,
what?
Well, then that makes you
queer.
Bye.
Bye.
Damn.